Hi everyone, welcome to Fat to Thin Senior RNY. I'm Raven. I was 76 years old when I had gastric bypass surgery on December 16, 2019. Medicaid approved the surgery. Last week I talked about the importance of the first few months after surgery. What happens during that time? In this vlog I'll be talking about gifts to buy yourself for the holidays. If you're curious, please continue to watch and join me on this journey. Last week I talked about the importance of the first few months after surgery. I'm coming up to a year after surgery. I think it's next week, middle of the week after. I'm thinking reward with a capital RW. Okay. Of course, my mind first goes to munchies, but then I started thinking about the holidays because they're coming up too. And we always buy gifts for everybody else. Feel guilty about buying something for ourselves. We think, at least I used to think, I didn't really deserve it, but I got it anyway, you know what I mean? We fight back. And then if you have addictions like I did, or do still, I suppose, we fight back and go out and binge buy, or buy less than what we need, or less in the quality, or something to diminish what it is that we actually want, okay? Because obviously we don't deserve it, This week I'll be talking about gifts to buy yourself for the holidays. Last year, as far as I'm concerned, I bought myself the RNY surgery. Okay. I think it was a wonderful gift. As for this upcoming year, I don't know what gift I'm going to get myself, but who knows? I was about to say I don't suspect it'll be as dramatic as the RNY surgery, but you never know, life goes and does strange stuff to you, Anyway, I don't know what's coming up this year, but you never know. Okay, so anyway, let me tell you about a story about gifts to buy yourself. Now, usually we think about, when we're thinking in relation to our surgery, gastric bypass, you start thinking food, right? Well, I'm not really necessarily thinking food. I had, at one time, I got a huge handmade ceramic bowl. It was gorgeous. I could raise the dough for 6 loaves of bread in that bowl and still have space. It wouldn't actually come over the top. It would kind of come up to the top, When I baked bread, kids from the neighborhood would show up. I don't know where these kids came from. I don't know who their parents are, but these kids would show up and, 3-4 loaves would be gone before it had a chance to think about cooling down, But hey, why not? I kept that bowl for about 15 years and really enjoyed it. I mostly used it to hold fruit when the empty nest syndrome hit. Less kids were gone. I didn't bake 6 loaves of bread. There weren't any neighbor kids around to come and eat it up if I made it. I still had that problem. There's no neighbor kids around here to eat up all this food that I cook. One day I was coming into the house and the cat jumped off the counter. Wasn't supposed to be up there, and knew it, of course. Jumped off the counter and bumped it. It must have been loaded, unbalanced, or whatever. But anyway, bumped it and tipped the bowl right, just about enough to push it off the edge of the counter. Kind of hung there, like in the movies, But unfortunately, it crashed into 1,000 little pieces, and a lot of big ones. but I like that bowl. So, I mean, so the gift itself, I mean, the thing you want doesn't have to be the standard stuff. You know, just get what you want. I mean, for instance, if you happen to like gift baskets, you get yourself a gift basket. Why not? I mean, you know, I mean, and if you feel like you got to be good, you know, or whatever, you can get yourself some scales and good set of knives. Maybe a new Instant Pot, or, well, you know, that you always wanted. You know what I mean? Things like that. And if you're a foodie, I don't appear to be a foodie. I'm not really that into that. You know, I cook to eat. That's about it. I mean, there's such things as cookbooks, you know, from other places in the world, things like that you could give yourself, and not just not the same old usual stuff. You know, you get yourself some fun stuff, some entertainment stuff, exercise toys and other toys. For instance, I've been looking at personally. I've been looking at what do you call it? A circular knitting machine. And it's funny too, because I was looking at it for a while, maybe a couple of weeks, when I remembered that my aunt, my father's sister, used to have one in the basement, but she had a knitting machine that was this long thing, and she had a, you know, special table for it, and, you know, had her chair for it and the whole deal. And God forbid one of us kids touched that thing, we were going to die young. You know, and we knew that without even asking, going near it. You know, it was one of those things. And she crocheted, she knitted all kinds of stuff with that, you know. Of course, I keep looking at this machine, you know, and you can get them anywhere from, you know, $60, let's say $50 for the ones made for kids, and small, up to, you know, $300-400 for a circular knitting machine. And then if you're thinking about getting one of those big ones like she had, we're talking a couple of grand, you know. So then there's the matter of space. I really can't see getting one because I don't have any place to put it. You know, just imagine, you know. And it's too tall. This is the table that I have. This is a booth, you know, like in a restaurant booth. You know, you don't move the table up and down, you don't move it side to side, nothing else. It's a booth. And so if I had the one with the feet on it, it would be up here somewhere, and then I'd be trying to load it, you know, because this is the only table I got. Otherwise, I'd have to get another table, sit it over here, you know, and it'd be in the way all the time. It's not going to work. Besides which, it's extremely expensive. Anyway, I can't see any reason to buy one. I crochet. I have since I was about 5 years old. My grandmother, my father's mother, taught me how to chain stitch and single crochet. She pulled out a lot of work. She pulled it out so much that I got into the habit of pulling it out before she came over, because I knew it wasn't right. So I've been looking at the circular knitting machines because my hands and my wrists hurt while I crochet. You know, 77 years old. As I said, I can't see any reason to buy one of those things. I've got 2 lawn and leaf bags of yarn and a half-finished coat, and I started crocheting about 2 years ago. It's now way too big for me, so I need to either pull it out or start over, back it up to a point and go from there, you know, or pull it all out and make something else, you know. The coat has, the picture you see here has 2 armhole slits. I have to put sleeves on it. And the collar. This is supposed to be a cascade, so the collar is a really big collar that would come down over your shoulders. And the front of it would kind of, you know, go like that. And that's why it's a circle. Built, you know, I crocheted in a circle. But as I said, it's too big. I mean, the armholes come out to here. You know, it's not going to work. So I decided Maybe I should get a set of knitting looms instead of the circular knitter. First of all, it's super cheap. It's 1/10 the price of the circular machine, the top circular machines. And I can get it even cheaper than that. You know, if I want a whole set, it's 1/10. If I just want 1 or 2 looms, you know, $5-10, you know. Plus, I can hold it on my lap here and work. And I can store it anywhere flat. So, hey, it's not a big, you know, big deal. Actually, in my notes here said that it's under $40 for 5 or 6 looms, you know. Anyway, then of course, aside from the looms and things like that, I've been looking at a hang drum. That's one of those thumb drums, you know, you kind of, it's around. I'll put a picture up here. A lot of pictures this time. So when you're considering about what to get yourself for the holidays, and you should get yourself something for the holidays. I mean, after all, you get stuff for everybody else. I mean, there's no reason at all why you couldn't get yourself a gift. Why not? You know exactly what you want and exactly how it should look and everything else. So go for it. And you know people are giving you money and stuff like that, and you spend it on your bills and other assorted goodies, or other people most likely. Spend some of it on yourself. Okay? So anyway, that's my lecture for the day. Okay? Rally report. Rally, I took away the buttons. You know, the talking buttons, because they were down there on the floor for at least 3 months. He refused to touch them. He knows exactly what they said, and he seemed to be afraid to touch them. He was really afraid to touch them. I realized when I took away the buttons, I just took them up. He started playing again. He started bringing me his ball. Now he's throwing the ball all over the house again, you know. But he's playing. He's running. He's carrying on. He wants to, I don't know, those buttons, it was something stressful for him. He just didn't want to do it. He didn't want to touch them. He didn't want to make a mistake and touch them. So he wasn't going to play with the ball or anything else that's going to make him make a mistake to touch those buttons. Well, it took me long enough to find out. I had started thinking about that, you know. So here I am trying to teach this dog, or any animal. I mean, I've seen a bunch of people. I saw one woman who taught her goat how to use the buttons. What happens when they're not near the buttons and they want to tell you something? You know, sooner or later you got to learn dog. Somehow, you know. But it was an interesting experiment. It probably would have been really cool and a lot easier on me if he had decided to use those buttons, but he decided not to, so it took the stress away. Hey, that's that. So he's doing good. Otherwise, he's doing really good. He's letting people come up to him and kind of sort of touch him. He's not barking at every man who wants to come up and touch him. He actually is letting them. And the walks are pretty good. He does not want to come in the house. I've really got to pick up my game. You know, he's still in better condition than I am. Speaking of which, the race reports. You got to remember, first of all, it sounds like I'm doing a lot of walking and, you know, exercising, carrying on. I do 2 walks per day. I do 2 miles per day. Most of the time, it's a little bit less than 2 miles. For some reason, the evening walks are much harder than the morning walks. So what I've been doing is walking further on the morning walks and just letting Rowley go where he wants to on the evening walks, which is start and stop, start and stop. The morning walk is more, you know, regimented. We walk, you know. And I'm new to this walking stuff, you know. I'm working at this time to get it up to 5,000 steps per day. Now, I mean, you see in every one of the commercials and whatnot, you know, get 10,000 steps a day. Well, I'm working hard to get it up to 5, okay? I'm new, you know. On December 16, 2019, when I had the bypass surgery, I was doing a maximum of 7,000 steps per week. So it was really difficult to carry a bag down to the end of the road to the garbage, you know. This week, I did an average of 28,000 steps. And as you know, it's recommended that you do 10,000 per day. But it took me 7 days. But that's okay. That's better than sitting on my used to be fat, well, still somewhat fat posterior. All of these races are concurrent, okay? I'm doing the Pan American Highway. It will take 16 years at 2 miles per day if I only do 2 miles per day. I've done 1% of that walk, the 35 million steps. Mount Fuji, I'm doing the Mount Fuji walk. It's like almost a double marathon. It's 46 miles. And my goal is to do that within the month. I have adjusted the time to 3 weeks because I should finish somewhere around Yule, December 21st. That forces me to maintain a minimum of 2 miles per day. So, you know, that's a good thing. I'm also doing the Holiday Streaker Challenge, which is a goal-setting challenge. It's not a race. You have to do a minimum of 1 mile or 20 minutes of some other kind of exercise daily for a month. So it's 3 different kinds of races. One is long-term. It's going to take me years anyway. Even if I got up to 10 miles a day, it would still take me years. Mount Fuji is actually almost a double marathon. And the Holiday Streaker is a challenge to see if you can keep going every single day. And so far, since I got Rowley on, when did I get him? December 24th, 2019. I have missed 3 walks. And both of those, all 3 of those, were within the last 2 months. One when I had the migraine a couple of weeks ago. And once when I had a bad case of dumping syndrome from God knows what. It's an amazing thing about that dumping syndrome, because what you're eating could be absolutely fine 4, 5, 6, 7 times you've eaten it. And then the next time you eat it, your body just doesn't want to hear it at all, under any circumstances. So it's going to get rid of it in a hurry. And sometimes painfully, you know. So anyway, to sum up, I'm feeling good about the surgery. I'm patting myself on the back because I can reach my back. And and I'm glad that I gave myself the gift of the RNY surgery. I hope you can get your gift this year if you're going for it, and that your gift works well for you if you have already gone for it. And so I make that choice for surgery again. You know, I'd do it. Absolutely. Absolutely, absolutely. So please like and share and subscribe and comment, please. And ring the notification bell so that you can be notified when I upload the next video. And don't forget to click show more to see the stuff in the description below. I put the link to Cheap RV Living and HOWA, H-O-W-A, that's Home on Wheels Alliance, below. because, not that I really want you to buy anything of theirs, which would be nice if you did, but they're an organization that pretty much helps people who live in their vehicles. They help a lot. And in this case, this is an Amazon link, and you know from other videos that if you click on the link and you buy something, then that person gets a parts of pennies. In this case, I put the link for the Cheap RV Living store, so that if you do go in there and look in, and you go and you don't want to buy anything there, but you still got the page open, and you go and you buy something else, doesn't matter what it is, they will still get parts of pennies. So trying to pay my way forward, I put their link below in the show notes. So take a look. And if you're ever going shopping in Amazon, click on the link first if you don't have any other reason to click on a link to assist a different person. Okay? And you take care of yourself. Okay? And thank you for subscribing, those of you who subscribed. And you take care of you and yours. And blessed be. Okay?